Great pleasure now to invite my lovely colleague Anne-Marie Penny to come and talk to you about driving for better business, and then we'll grab a bit of lunch. So over to you, Annie.
Thanks, Mark. It's nothing like a bit of notice, isn't it? So I'm standing here, Mark says, "You're okay?" "Yeah, great, I'm all prepared." "Great, can you just stand on the red X?" So now I'm focused on the red X. Presentation's gone out the window. Right. Good to know. So, hello everyone. I think we might just have tipped over into 12 o'clock, so good afternoon. My name is Anne-Marie Penny. I'm a Senior Road Safety Policy Advisor at National Highways, and I lead the Driving for Better Business programme. So, we're just going to have a quick canter through a little bit of history, using the roads for work safely, a little bit about the Driving for Better Business programme, and then being the change. So, I'd like to take you back to 1966. Some of you may remember that. I'm not going to ask who. But there were some things that we celebrated in 1966. So we had the first electric passenger train that actually reached 100 miles per hour. Something to celebrate. Barclays introduced the first British credit card, the Barclaycard. Hovercraft services began. Camberwick Green was first shown on Watch with Mother. Who doesn't remember Windy Miller? And we started to expand the strategic road network with new motorways being built. And there was something else in 1966 as well, that even if you weren't born anywhere near or before 1966, you won't fail to know about. We won this little trophy thing. I'm afraid I don't like, not into football. I like the other one with different shaped balls. I like rugby. But yeah, we won the trophy. Thank you. Everybody was celebrating. But you know, something else was going on in 1966 that wasn't so great, that actually affected a lot of people's lives very negatively. In 1966, nearly 8,000 people died on the roads in Great Britain. And it was at that point that the then government said, you know, this is not acceptable. We can't do this. We can't carry on losing people on the roads. Traffic levels had risen, and along with that rising traffic level, the casualties had risen as well. So the then government created the Department of Transport Road Safety Team, one team to actually bring together everybody in road safety. Just hold that thought. We've made progress since then, so let's come back to the present day. So I hope all of you here in this room are aware that there are employee responsibilities. There are 3 imperatives. There's the legal imperative. So it's within health and safety law. We must assess our work-related activities to make sure that we're doing them safely, and that not only are we not affecting our staff, we're not affecting them adversely, we're actually not causing the public any harm as well. It goes for driving. So driving's involved in that. Excellent. Tick VG. There's a moral imperative as well. It is absolutely the right thing to do. Let's protect our staff. If we're good employers, surely we want to do that. And there's also that financial imperative. If you're doing this well, if you're managing work-related road risk well, actually there are really significant benefits for your company, for the bottom line. You save money, you're more efficient. So these 3 imperatives are what drives us to do the right thing. Just having a quick comparison with other workplace fatalities and driving at work fatalities. So we've gone back to 2019, 2020, and that's partly because in 2020, the driving for work journey purpose, which is recorded after injury collisions, was not analysed from them by the DFT. They took it out of the analysis. Happily now it's back in, but only from last year. So we haven't got any data on journey purpose from 2020 to 2024. But back in 2019-20, we had 528 collisions, fatal collisions involving at least one person driving for work, against 203 collisions involving other workplace fatalities. Where's the harm? Where should we be focusing? Where should we add additional focus? So a little bit about the Driving for Better Business programme. It was started back in 2007. A DFT grant provided to a road safety charity called RoadSafe. And it came out of the Motorist Forum report, where it said that employers really weren't focusing on this area of risk. And it set out some interesting areas that we were to consider when we were trying to engage with companies. Throughout the years, the grant funding dwindled, and in 2016-17, National Highways spotted the opportunity to actually work with RoadSafe to reinvigorate what was a campaign into a much wider programme of work. So we created our vision, which is a world where those who drive or ride for work do so safely, efficiently and sustainably. And the mission is to share that good practice widely, share it with everybody, so that people can realise those benefits, not only the human, but the financial as well. So a little bit about what we do. Firstly, it's a free programme. For those of you who haven't seen or come across DFBB before, it's paid for by National Highways. It's funded so that we can offer free resources, free advice, free guidance. We have specific tools like the gap analysis, like the Driving for Work Policy Builder, that are there, again, free for you to use, to check how you're doing, to make amendments if you need to. We provide case studies, again, that learning, that sharing of experiences from other companies. And it's aimed at employers, so all the resources are aimed at how the employer can improve. But to go along with that, we'll also provide some driver resources, things that you can share with your drivers, because that communication between employer and driver is so important. Just a slide showing a few of the business benefits that have been realised by companies. We talk a lot today about the mental health side. That's something that is really key. Staff retention, staff health and well-being, not just the safety, but the well-being. Distressed drivers, stressed drivers, anxious drivers don't make great drivers. So the mental health aspect is really important as well. And I've just picked out 5 particular case studies that show significant reductions in their collision rates, sometimes their speeding penalties, penalty notices, over varying timescales, but no more than 3 years. And some of these are really significant reductions. Just DFBB in a few numbers. So we've got 5.5 million drivers that we can reach through the companies that are registered through Driving for Better Business. We proudly have 128 partners who support our vision, who share our vision, who share our messages through their networks. And we also have 30,000 businesses that actually are members of our 26 trade associations. So we're getting down into smaller businesses as well. Over the years, more than 100,000 downloads of our resources have taken place. That means people are taking stuff and going, this is good, we're going to use this. And our case studies show that on average, there's a 10% year-on-year reduction in collisions and incidents. So, being the change, what can we do? We've heard about the SAFE system. We focus quite a lot on those elements in the middle, those 5 elements. But actually, it's the bit around the outside that I really want to look at today. Road safety is a shared responsibility, and it's shared between those who design, build and maintain the roads, people like National Highways, local highway authorities, vehicle manufacturers, cars have got safer, those who manage occupational drivers, and those who use the roads. And if we look around the outside of that circle, all of those things, they're enablers. That enables the safe system to work. And employers are part of those enablers. They are an enabler to make the road safer, to ensure that the management of road risk is done properly, to raise standards of driving behaviour, to ensure that we have roadworthy vehicles and roadworthy drivers. Let's go back to that 1966 slide where nearly 8,000 people died on our roads. The last 58 years, significant improvements have been made. We just talked about the vehicle standards. Cars are now so much more safe in their design, their ability to protect occupants. We've had the principles of human factors are better understood. Improved road design. We had some slides from Tim Marsh showing F1. We learn a lot from F1. We've learned a lot from how to make roads safer by looking at how we make the track safer. Collision investigation standards have improved, so we have a better understanding of the factors in collisions and how we can avoid them. And legislation plays a part in that as well. There are things that we introduce because we know that they're not safe behaviours, and so we say, here's the legislation, don't do this. So how did we get here today? 2023, we started with #DrivingChange, our first conference. Last year, we had Vehicles Don't Crash, People Do. And today, we're talking about the why, the what, and the how. We are all in this room, the how. We're all here because we can see how we can actually be part of that change. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. When you go home today, when you go back into your organisations, I want you to consider just one thing that you can do to change, to improve the safety in your organisation. One thing that would change and improve safety for your colleagues and you. And then share that change. Once you've perfected it within your organisation, tell others about it. How can other people learn from what you've done? One challenge, just your homework from when you go from here today. Thank you for listening. If you haven't yet seen DFBB, please come and visit us at the stand. I'll hand you back to Mark. We'll go for lunch.
Well done, Harry.